Talagang matapang ring tong bagong commandant ng Philippine Coast Guard. Mariing kinundi na ang bagong kabastusan ng China. Dito binigyan diin ni Admiral GAVAN na kahit walang sapat na kakayahan ng Philippine Coast Guard na labanan ang China, ay papanindigan pa rin ito ang sinumpaang tungkuling paglaban sa karapatan ng Pilipinas sa West Philippine Sea. Nanindigan na hindi natatakot ang Philippine Coast Guard na lumaban sa China kahit buhay pa ang maging kapalit nito.
The Philippine Coast Guard condemns once again the China Coast Guard's unprovoked act of coercion and dangerous maneuvers against a legitimate, lawful, and routine Philippine rotation and resupply mission to a union shore. It has put the lives of our personnel at risk. The systematic and consistent behavior of the China Coast Guard vessels do not align with the universally accepted behavior of Coast Guards. Ironically, they are supposed to ensure safety of life at sea, but they have deliberately violated the Convention on the International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea, or COLREX, in 1972, to which the People's Republic of China is also a signatory state. The dangerous maneuvering such as shown by the Chinese Coast Guard vessels are illegal, reckless, and irresponsible actions that puts into question and significant doubt the narrative of law enforcement and their identity as Coast Guard organization. The Philippine Coast Guard, on the other hand, has acted responsibly, consistent with operational rules based on international law and other IMO conventions that aligns with the peaceful and rules-based norm among Coast Guard organizations in the region. Our Philippine Coast Guard keepers made sure that despite the reckless actions of their Chinese Coast Guard counterpart, they were able to avoid collision between them. And despite their provocative actions to deliberately prevent our vessels from completing the mission, the Philippine Coast Guard keepers maintained their professional behavior and firm resolve to avoid escalatory actions. As the Commandant, I am proud to note that the collaborative efforts and unity of purpose between the armed forces of the Philippines and the Philippine Coast Guard demonstrate our government's collective determination to assert our sovereignty, sovereign rights, and jurisdiction in the West Philippine Sea. The Philippine Coast Guard is proud to have supported and will always be ready to support the armed forces of the Philippines in its effort to sustain our presence in a union shore. The Filipino people is rest assured that the Philippine Coast Guard will remain unflinching in performing these roles in the missions of the Philippines to support its outposts in various features in the West Philippine Sea on a regular basis in cooperation and in collaboration with the armed forces of the Philippines as members of the National Task Force West Philippine Sea. These missions are part of the Philippine government's consistent legitimate exercise of its rights and obligations and administrative functions consistent with international law, including the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, the 2016 Arbitral Award, and the Philippine domestic laws. In closing, let me reiterate that the Philippine Coast Guard will not be deterred from implementing the President's explicit guidance for the Philippines to exercise our legal rights and over our maritime zones, including a union shore which form part of our exclusive economic zone and continental shelf. End of my statement.